Hi everybody. We are today in a city called Areia Branca, which in Portuguese means white sand. We left Natal, I believe, a few days ago. We drove 4 hours, and from Natal we came here, which is a little town. It's a very, very little beach town. I would say it's even more like a big village, because you might even hear during the recording, there is this neighbor here that has even roosters, hens, sheep, everything. So some mornings we wake up by the roosters of the neighbor, which is nice. We wanted to do this also as a different experience, to not just be in a city, you know, or like a big beach town. Very, very little laid back environment. So we also experience this kind of lifestyle in very smaller cities as well. Another thing that is very, very interesting, as you will see, I'm going to show around, is our Airbnb. Our Airbnb is called Casa Verde. Casa Verde means greenhouse. And the owner has been living in Areia Branca for, I think, almost 30 years, I think. But he used to have a pizzeria for 20 years, and then he bought this house, and now he has Airbnb. He lives in one unit in the beginning, and then there's 2 other units, large bedroom and a huge bathroom each unit has. He rents this, and this is, I think, what he does during his retirement, I would say, because he is not working. So I'm gonna just turn the camera just to show you the house. This is our room. Right behind this wall we have the big bathroom. It's very large. This is a little space we have here if you want to have coffee or just stay here and relax. As you can see, it's all green all around. It's really nice because also it's hot here. So with the trees being this present, this full, like a lot of leaves, as you can see, even the trees, they're huge. So with the help of the shade that the trees provide, here it's really not that hot, and there's always this breeze that I don't know if you can see in the video, but there's constantly a breeze, so it doesn't make the place as hot as outside. Then we also have this guy here that belongs to the owner. He just hangs out here, goes back and forth. This is his corridor. So he goes from this end and then he goes the whole way to the other end and back and forth the whole day. And now we have another one, Zaya. This is also Zaya. She belongs to the owner. She's such a sweetheart. Cute little girl. We tried to actually do like a matching thing between her and Leo, but Leo is not that interested. I don't know, so didn't work out. And you see, every morning she comes, waits here, waits for Leo, but Leo just doesn't show up. A true lover, I would say. And here we also have a bathtub, and if you want to use, you can use the bathtub also. And another unwanted guest that we might have is this spider here also. I don't know if you can see the spider. Yeah, I also filmed with the cell phone, so if I can show it to you after, I'll show. The size of the spider is huge. And also, besides the spiders, we have around, I think, 7, 8 or maybe even 10 frogs. And those frogs also, when I see them next time, I'll show you. They are huge. Like, each one is like the size of the palm of the hand. And one night we were walking, it was dark, we didn't even see them, and then they were just like hanging out on the pathway. We kicked them and they just jump like 1 or 2 meters and sit there, don't do anything. Anyway, so that's the house. I'm gonna just walk by and show you again. This is the path. These little like fruits that you see on the floor, they are kind of like a berry that come from this huge tree here. And our dog is obsessed with them. I don't know. He wants to always eat them. And I have an executive producer also accompanying me for the video. Then you see how nice and green this place is, and all of these trees, actually, believe it or not, the owner, he planted them when he originally bought the house. After our room, we also have this really cute place here that usually we have breakfast here. I'm going to mention how much the Airbnb was. I don't remember exactly. I'm gonna ask Mariana. But here we also have breakfast. Breakfast for this place was not included in the rent, like in what we paid for Airbnb. But you will see it is well worth it. And when I show the breakfast and then you see what is included, I'll also mention the cost, because that we pay separately to him, and we will tell him even when we want it. We usually have breakfast very late, so we told him, can we have it at noon? So yeah, of course, for sure, I'll serve your breakfast by noon. So he is super nice, our host. Like, he really wants to make sure that the people who stay here, they have an amazing experience, they really enjoy the place. He really takes care of his place and his guests. So we are very happy with the Airbnb. Once again, Mariana delivered. So this is another space that we will come back to later when we have breakfast. This, believe it or not, is a shower that you can use when you come back from the beach, because we are like a couple of blocks from the beach. This is the other room that he rents. Now there's nobody else here. A couple of days before, there was another couple that they stayed for like, I think, 2 days, 2 nights, and then they left. This other part of the house, I think, is where the owner stays. So he lives in that part, and the guests, they have this room, and our room is way at the end. Then there is other things also, ropes and stuff. I think it's for kids to play, or when his own kids or grandkids, they come back to visit him. He puts here, but like not for guests, I guess. Another very nice, relaxing sitting area here as well. As you can see, Zaya is already just relaxing. It's only like 10 a.m. but I think she was barking at the neighbors a lot, so she might be tired. And we continue again. This house is just really amazing. The amount of trees and plants and everything. Then this is another sitting area that when we arrived, he received us here. This is his corner and kitchen and everything else. And the rest of the backyard. Very cute. Behind this tree that he actually said it's a figs tree. I don't know if it actually produces any figs or not, but behind it is another sitting area behind this bench and the tree. It's just a little bit dark, so I'm not sure if you can really see the place. Yeah, I think it should come out properly. But this is the place also that some days we have breakfast here. So you have this sitting area, and all of this, I believe they're all handmade by the owner. Everything that you can see, he put together. So we are really enjoying the place. After, we are going to also go to downtown area. I mean downtown, but where the city is, and show you a little bit more of the city, because the city itself doesn't really have anything like touristic to see or to do. It's mostly just the beach that people come here to just stay at the beach. We actually went to the beach last night, right before sunset, and I filmed a little bit with the drone. I'm gonna try to put it now so you can see the beach too from the drone images, and after, if we go also with the camera to walk around, we will show you that too. So this is the drone images from yesterday. We just left the house. We're just gonna show you the beach and see how close the house is to the beach. It's like maybe 1 block. By car it's even 1 minute, not even.
30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds. So that's it. The tide is actually very high. If you saw the drone images yesterday, all of this part that now you see people swimming, it was actually dry. I'm gonna actually go outside just to show a bit. I hope that the wind is not too strong because I don't have the protection for the microphone. But basically, up until this part yesterday was dry, as you saw in the drone images. And there is, I think, a dog. Oh my god, there is a colony of you guys. Hello. The assembly. Neighborhood meeting. And there is a restaurant also here. There is another restaurant here. And at the end of the street, there's a hotel as well that people can stay at. We wanted to actually stay with the locals, so it's a different experience. We like that. Oh, I think the boss is just going to join the meeting. Okay, and now we're gonna go back to show you the rest.
So these are all pools for salt. This is a private company that works like here in Areia, Branca. And then what works is like from this side here, the water comes from the sea. So the water goes passing through different pools. And then the water starts getting like more dense until the end, when there isn't even more water anymore. It's just the salt that is left. And then they collect, and then they start doing the mountains that you see in the end of the film. Then you have the mountains of salt, and actually we're gonna go see them this afternoon inside of the company actually that does the salt.
Okay, another interesting thing I wanted to talk about regarding Areia Branca is a lot of industries that you have here. For example, this building behind me, I'm not sure if you can see there, like in front of this building there are wells for oil. And then way in the distance, when I fly the drone, I'll try to show you, there are so many windmills also for the wind energy. So this is another industry that is helping the economy of the city. And behind these little trees, I'm gonna fly the drone and I'll show you. There are the pools, little pools that Mariana talked about, that they all hold different concentration of salt from the seawater that comes to the first pool. These are all man-made pools, so the water from the sea comes to the first one, then they pump it to the second one, then the next one. By the time it gets to the last, it's very, very dense, and the concentration of salt is very high. So these are the main industries that in the city they help the economy. To give you an idea, the whole city has only 2 gas stations, so it's not a big city, but these are the fields that help the economy: energy, salt production, and the beach also, and tourism to some extent, which we will also show you later. The salt production, we are really hoping that we can go there with our host, that he knows the people, so we can show you much more about the salt production as well. All right, we came back from the city, and as our lovely host does every day, this is the breakfast exactly at the time that we asked him to be ready. So as I mentioned, that I'm gonna show you, and also at the end I'm gonna tell you the price as well. There is always a plate of fruit, and then the main dish. There is coffee and the juice, sugar, and dried milk that is normal here also in Brazil, and always a beautiful set of flowers, napkins, and everything else. There is this cheese also. It is not like the cream cheese that we have in North America. It's completely different. But all of this he does for one couple, for both of us, Mariana and I. We pay 30 reais. 30 Brazilian reais. It's almost in US dollars, it's like $6 for 2 people, all of this breakfast, which is not included in the Airbnb price, but you can ask him to do this for you every day. And I really think it's definitely worth it, because as you know, I mentioned before, the city is very small. It's not that easy to find good breakfast like this with all of these options every day at home, served at your place, your Airbnb. And also this setting as well, it is very, very nice. And we usually sit here for like a couple of hours talking to him and discussing things with him about his memories, the things he has done in the city, and it's very nice. We really had a blast here. So this place is kind of like the parking lot for old boats. As you can see, they're all almost at the end of their life. This one in particular is huge, but the other ones over there, they are, I think, for the fishermen. There are some other people also, like this gentleman here, that are trying to fish. Our Airbnb host was actually explaining for us that at some point they would have a huge net, and all of these fishermen together, they would fish to a point that they would take all the fish that was there. But then they made it illegal. They said, no, you can't do that because then you're going to kill the whole population of the fish. So it's more control. Another thing that they really try to catch is tuna. And he was explaining to us that the tuna, they catch it, and the best quality of the tuna they actually export it, and the tuna that doesn't have quality as good, they keep it for the locals or for the consumption in Brazil itself. This I believe is for the coast guard because it says it's a military area, so I'm not gonna explain that much. And this one is the main church of the city, the biggest, and I assume the oldest as well. And right behind it also there is like a square that families with kids and everything else, they come and they gather at night when the sun is out and it's a bit cooler to go and hang out. More boats. This one, as you can see, I think it is for the Coast Guard. So this is where you go and get on a ferry. The ferries come and park here at the end of this street, which is another one of the main streets of the city, and you go down here, just get on the ferry, which is something that tomorrow we might be doing if the weather is good. We're gonna go very quickly inside the church also, just to see, because I think there is a mass going on, so we don't want to bother anybody and be typical tourists. So we're gonna try to behave and just show you inside the church, the design and everything else. So we went inside the church. This is the square behind the church, also that people come and they hang out. Usually it's too early because the sun, it's usually after the sunset that they come, so it's a bit empty, but as you can see, some people are already hanging out waiting for the rest of the family, and we're gonna continue the walking tour. So as we went around the church and we came back to where we started, I see more ferries arriving with the cars getting out. There's another one in the back waiting for his turn, and people also lined up here to get on the next ferry.
Hoje as roças também cresceram, ó, tudo é legal.
Oh, and here too, it's another thing that's it's almost like the same thing we saw in Recife, Marco Zero, which is the point zero, where everything I think starts in the city from this point. In front of the church also it has this, which is like a wheel for a ship, and even the shape of the design of the church, it's as if it's a ship on the tip. As we're walking around, our Airbnb host also is explaining a lot of things to us, so we can get a little bit more information. Since he is a local, he knows much better than us what's going on. So this is the Marco Zero and all the other info that comes with it. The area of the municipality, the altitude, latitude, longitude, everything. And then you have a little map here too. Areia Branca, Grande, Norte, Porto do Mangue, Serra do Mel, Mossoró, and Grosso. Grosso is the little town that is on the other side behind the green space that you see here, which you have to take the ferry to go to. So that could be tomorrow. Another look at the church again. Okay, we just entered a place that is not a factory basically, but the place that they process the salt, and those little pools that we talked to you about, they all come here and then they end up in these mountains of salt. It's amazing, my god, even talking I feel like my lips, they're salty. And we are here at the time of sunset, which is beautiful. But this is the whole process, the whole operation of manufacturing the salt from the water that comes from the sea, and then they go to different pools and they end up here for the final part that they just process. I don't have the cover for the microphone and it's a little bit windy, so apologies for that if the sound is not perfect, but I'm hoping that it's not as windy that we need to put the protection. So we came in from the main entrance, we walked a little bit by the pools, and now we are closer and closer to the mountain of salt. Even the ground, you can see it's salty and it's like it's full of salt. And the water, the last pool, they call it actually the pink pool, because apparently the color of the water is a little bit pinkish because of the high concentration of salt in the water. So that's another thing. Another interesting topic I wanted to talk to you about was when we were in Canada, I used to work in a company, and this is years ago when I was young, you know, and it was at the end of one of the main boulevards in Montreal. And in winter in Montreal it snows so much that you have to always remove the snow, because otherwise the streets are gonna all freeze and everything is gonna just get destroyed. So they would take the snow away and they would dump it at the end of that boulevard that we had, which would look exactly like this. At the end of winter you would have mountains of snow just like piled up, and it would sometimes take until June or July for the whole mountain to just disappear, because it was so much. And now it's like I'm walking here, it's reminding me of that place. That place was not as nice because every time you would go there you would probably freeze. Here it's much more comfortable to walk, especially with this beautiful sunset. And my god, the size of these salt mountains, it's huge. Wow. I'm not sure if we can actually climb. I think we can and we will, if they don't mind and they don't say anything, I mean from the company, that they are producing the salt. But so far nobody said anything. We even saw a security guard at the door. He didn't say anything. So because it's a small city, it's very, very friendly, the approach. And I mean, who's gonna come and like steal salt? It's very nice. Oh, okay, so this you have to be careful when you step, because it might just go down under your steps. So you have to make sure that you step slowly. You go up, and oh my god, it's all crystals of salt, right?
Yeah, so just pay attention because it's all crystals.
Yeah. Wow. You see?
Yeah, so if you fall, it hurts.
Oh, yeah, they're sharp. So you have to be very careful not to fall. And my god. If anybody would tell me that one day I would be in this part of the world climbing a mountain of salt, I would have laughed at them, honestly. But as I always say, this is why we travel. are also amazed by the drone images also. My god, amazing, amazing. Never thought just a little salt production operation would be this nice to see from above. But now it's too windy and also the sun is going down, so the image with the camera with GoPro, usually when the sun is down, it's gonna be very dark. So we're gonna stop filming here and we're gonna most probably continue tomorrow. So see you tomorrow. All right, now it's the next day. We came back to the same place that we were yesterday, in front of the church. But guess what? Now we are on the water and we are on a ferry. So park the car. It's almost full, but it leaves in like 5 minutes. No more space for cars, but I think for people, they wait. So everybody gets on and then we're gonna leave. We're gonna take the water, probably, as I don't know if we're gonna go this way or that way. I think it's the right direction. And then we're gonna go to the other side of the water. I'm gonna go upstairs actually, just to show. I'm gonna go upstairs and show everybody the view from here. So it's cool. Basically we came in from the side and now we're going to go to another body of land to stay there. And also it's a little like town called Grosso. We're gonna go see it. As I mentioned before, they said it's not something very interesting or touristic to see, but we're just gonna go see it while we're here. All right, we made it across the water. We passed, let me turn the other side, and we got here. This is actually our ferry, it's still there. And now we are just going to go around, show you. As you can see, this is like compared to already Areia Branca, the point where you take the ferry, it's already so busy. It told so many boats and everything else. This side already almost nobody. The ferry ride was good for me. I think it was the second time or third time, because once before also we came to Brazil, we took a ferry, remember, years ago. But it was good. It wasn't challenging. 25 minutes, yes. And it was 36 reais also. I'm gonna write the equivalent in dollar also. It's not that expensive. Another thing I wanted to mention was the drone. The drone landing it on the moving ferry. I was almost shaking that I was gonna lose it, because you have to, the ferry is coming and the drone is coming also towards you, and you're in the middle trying to juggle both, but it worked out. And all good. Now we're gonna walk around. I don't know if we can walk around or we just drive around, but we're gonna just show you a bit more of Grosso. Yeah, so this is one restaurant by the water. It's 4 p.m, so I'm not surprised that it's not that full, but I think for lunch or dinner it would be a very nice place to come have a meal by the water, no? Very nice. And apparently there is a Toyota dealership around here too. It's 4 Toyota SUVs like all parked. I think there was a promotion at the dealership. officially made it to the end of the road.
In 5 minutes.
No, I'm kidding. But just let me get out and show you a little bit more again. So this road, this is how it ends. I believe this is the way they want to separate the bodies of the water, because there is this part on the other hand side, the land houses, and then these are all boats for fishermen. I think the wind is very strong, so I'm not gonna talk too much because I don't want the sound quality to be bad, but just turn the camera to show you once again where the restaurant was that we just drove by. It's here. This one too, it looks like a bar. I think those bars that the fishermen, they just go hang out, have a beer, chill, enjoy. Now we're gonna just go back in this road and go towards the city. Apparently there is supposed to be a church on that side, but let's go find the church. And guys, we found the church. This is the church in the city of Grosso. Igreja Matriz. So the Matriz church, right?
Yeah, it's the main church of the city.
And the only one, right?
Yeah.
The one and only.
The one and only.
Yeah. Okay guys, so Grosso, we don't see anything really, anything else. We might drive by and just, if we get any more footage, we'll add it, but I think this is it, right? So as always, the loyal viewers that you guys are, nice subscribers that you guys are, don't forget to give us a like, don't forget to subscribe, it's very important. Spread the word, talk to everybody, put the video everywhere you want, we really don't mind. This would really help the channel, and stay tuned for next videos to come up, right?
Yes.
We're not done yet. That being said, until the next one, ciao.
Bye.